Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. Just wanted to talk a bit today about the realities of bugging out. Now, carrying a 70-pound backpack for 7 days has taught me a few things. Number one, it's really fucking heavy and no amount of physical conditioning can prepare you for doing something like that, especially if you're going to have to do it permanently. Number two is, depending where you live, if Vancouver Island is an example, which has so many different types of terrain, without cut trail, without man-made, man-maintained trail, it's pretty much impossible to carry that amount of stuff through uncharted territory. And so, if you're planning on bushwhacking with, and that means, of course, going through virgin bush and making your own trailblazing through the forest, you're lucky if you do a kilometer a day, I think. Now, there's going to be instances, of course, depending on the types of terrain, where, you're going to be able to cover a lot more ground. There's certain types of forest that don't have a lot of low-lying plants that get in the way. But the majority of forests do have their share of obstacles, and that's going to make things very difficult. Now, the trail that I've been on, it's incredibly challenging just with the trails. I could never imagine having to do it without the trails, So, movement in a scenario like that is going to be limited, especially if there's nobody there to maintain things. And even in the cities where, you have a lot of these parks and, a lot of the plants and stuff are going to retake the cities immediately. They're going to start to anyways. And that's going to create a lot of obstacles and problems. And the whole notion that a person can just, move place to place, with all their gear, is flawed. It's like I say, depending on where you are, it may be possible, but for the most part, I think it's going to be very complicated for you to try to do that. Now, if you had a destination in mind and you were set on it, and you say moved every once in a while, as long as it wasn't consistently, I think an ideal pack weight for me now is going to be around 50 pounds. And, I'm 195 pounds lean, so I'm not a small person or a weak person by any stretch of the means. I just realized that my agility is severely limited with that extra 20 pounds of gear. And so my goal for next time is going to be to really be more strict about my weight that I'm carrying. And there's a lot of shit now that I realize I do not need. And I've done another video about that already. You can see that video here. But it's going to be very, very challenging. The reality of bugging out is not going to be anything like you see in the movies. You're going to be restricted in your time. You have to do things You know, you're going to be constantly sore and in pain from having to carry stuff, because even athletes don't, there is no cross training that can prepare you for carrying 50 pounds around all day. There just isn't. And, you know, over and up and down and around trails and obstacles and things like that. But that doesn't mean that a person who is not physically fit is going to do the same as a person who is physically fit. The physically fit person is still going to have a clear advantage. So, something to consider. But let me know what you think about this video. The realities of bushwhacking. I'm going to do an addendum to this video, and I'm going to take you walking through some thick bush, and we'll see if you think that you can navigate that with a bug out bag. Thanks.